What you're about to see is a matter of human record. Explain it? We cannot. Disprove it? We cannot. We simply invite you to explore with us the amazing world of the unknown.
Tiny House Live. Tiny House Live.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Tiny House Live.
I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today. I 100% believe it. Why I believe that is because I know how it feels when you sing it. I know what it does to you. And I know the evil feeling that you feel when you sing it. I know the lost position that you get into in the beat. Well, if you talk to the average teenager of today and you ask them what it is about rock and roll music that they like, and the first thing they'll say is the beat, the beat, the beat.
The beat, the beat. It is all about the beat. Actually, that's not quite true. Actually, without loud guitars, solid bass players, keyboards with a right purpose, and vocalists with a true talent, that's what it's all about. Welcome, my friends. There you are. Welcome to Tiny House Live. Once again, right here, high in the hills of Petticoat, you find me. Straight on course with my Series 5, moving right along in my 19th show, and I'm just cruising at a nice altitude. You can feel it. Look out the window right now. Look out there. Look while I'm talking to you. Look out the window. You can see there's like clouds going by. There's some geese. There's a llama. What's the llama doing up here? We're not that high yet. But we've got a ways to go. As you know, right now, I'm pretty involved in my Tiny House Live kind of search for musical history in our county, as so many of you know. And I'm having a great time doing it. I partnered up with my buddy Tony Stouffer, and together we've been pulling in some great acts. We came in first with Mick Whittington, and we did a great thing with Tony going through a lot of his material, and we got more to do on that. And then Tony got Eric Martin to come in and sit down. And that was just incredible, and we went off and chatted on that. Anyway, we've got a few more things to go. He's been pulling these things together with me. Appreciate you, brother. And we got a few more to do here. I've got one more with Tony next Wednesday, and I'll be wrapping up my Series 5 with you at the end of this month. And I'm going to take a little break because I see myself getting busy again in club life. That's what I'm saying. Club life. Remember that? Remember that? Where we could all go out there and I could put a camera between me and the band on stage, and there you'd find yourself. I love it. Can't wait. It'll be soon enough. So, welcome here. Welcome. And let me make a minor adjustment over here in my world. There we go. You listen closely. You hear people howling. The 8 o'clock howl is going on right now in Pepperland. Our neighbors, at least 4 houses, do that, as many of you as you know. I'll be turning around and getting our chat line up in just a minute once we actually hit our cruising altitude. But tonight, I want to tell you, I've been looking forward to this show as I kind of continue on in my Sonoma County music history. And I've been spending a lot of time in the 80s, which, 80s still is one of our strongest musical eras, I think, in Sonoma County. I think, really, there's so much stuff. There was so many places to play. There was so much open acceptance of what you could do and who we could do it with and where. It brought forth a lot of really great music and a lot of great bands. And that, to me, as an audio engineer, I was on the front lines. I could tell who was coming and going and who had great super talent and who was going to be flying by. And I mixed so many great bands. And I'm here and pleasured to tell you tonight, I have one of those great bands with me tonight, right here in Tiny House. That's right. Here they are, right here, the Defectors, right here, coming right at you, coming into the full view. There they are. Come on, boys. Let's say hi to everybody first. Ow! 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 That's right. We can howl with the best of them. Oh, man. All right, there you go. Josef Brinkmann right there in the center. There you go. That's him right in the middle. And there's Stephan. Salite.
Stephan Salite.
I meant to ask you that over our hot chili. Whether it was,
well, it's a long story. I'll tell you something.
we got room for long stories tonight.
It's been Stephan since '84.
Okay, all right. Well, see, I would expected to see an F.
I know.
Yeah, ask anybody who knows me, and I get names wrong all the time. It's a thing that I have.
I didn't ask Joseph in advance.
Oh, there you go.
I should have.
Oh, that's right. I didn't get the writer. Chris, right there. Chris Lushington, right there on the right side. Glad to have you in this tiny house with us as well.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we were retracing our steps a little bit here today. We'll get into some of that as our musical history goes on and on in this county. So, yeah, man, the Defectors. You guys rocked. I mean, you had posters on the Tower Records with the Defectors,
And the Babuhe Gardens.
and the Babuhe. The Babuhe. Love the name of that club. Babuhe. Starting about when? When can we peg the beginning here of the Defectors?
1980.
1980, yeah, straight up.
I think the end of '79, I put some posters up saying I was going to start a band, and this fella from Duluth called straight away, David Anderson. He just moved to Santa Rosa, and a fella named Charlie Reed out in Guerneville called. And well, I had my eye on Chris because I'd seen him play at the Camp Meeker barn, and he was wearing was it Weeblos or a Cub Scout outfit? But
No, it was sartorial splendor at that point. Shorts with suspenders.
okay. But anyway, he was ripping it up, and the Camp Meeker barn. Anytime you attended a dance there, it was exciting because you felt that the place was on this creek and they're on stilts, so there was always a possibility the place was just going to fall over, and especially if Chris was playing bass, the whole place was just rumbling. I said, I got to be in a band with that guy. So that's kind of how it started in 1980, but I should say the band was together for almost 7 years, and probably about 20 people
20 people
were in this band, so I'd like to just say that all of them were Defectors. And when you first contacted me, I suggested, can we get all of them into this tiny house?
Be like right up against our faces.
Feel like that.
That'd be so fun.
It is 12 by 15 in here.
But anyway, I think this grouping for tonight makes sense because the three of us, from time to time, socialize, and we did make a non-binding commitment recently that we would try to get together once a month to make racket.
Oh, really?
So we were together almost 3 years out of the 7. So this
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. How many songs do you think you wrote within the I guess we could say the Defector lineage?
we were writing a song a minute.
Joseph wrote like 20.
Your songs are about a minute long, weren't they?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, one of the things that we didn't allow, I'm saying we, even if it was me, we didn't allow downtime on stage. So the rule for David, the drummer, was as soon as a song ends, or as soon as you think Stephan has ended the song, which was not a certainty.
Inevitable, but not a certainty.
But the drums should start immediately kicking in the next song. So we like to lean into it and just keep moving. And so we needed more songs because of that.
Concision.
It's pretty true. It's actually.
Get into it, get out of it.
Well,
Is the song?
Get into the next one.
But they were all like 3 to 4 minute songs, right?
Yeah,
You weren't going off on a jam band route. I mean, it was at that point you're all very concise about.
Well,
Do we say?
not
punk? Do
counting
we say
the endings, right?
It
Yeah,
depends.
yeah.
There were a few songs where Stephan did have permission to stretch out.
And stretch, I did.
Kind of want to see all that.
Yeah, I'm Allergic was probably one of those songs.
Yeah, was that one of the Guerneville performances? Was that right?
I think it was.
Sent you a link, yeah, I went through a few of those and tried to resurrect what I could. And then when we started talking about music and video in the 80s was barely non-existent. So it was somebody out there with an 8mm camcorder.
Yeah, Ken Sugarman, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? That was doing the video?
Well, and I think it was Dave, his buddy, maybe they'll call in. But somebody filmed it and they digitized it. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, it's there. It's there, but it was recorded on the audio mic from a camera, and that's its issue. Was it's a camera mic recording.
Someone was on the board from the River Theater. I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that place. That kind of runs into another thing. It's just like we were paying 16 to 20 dates a month.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to pull that up at some point during the show, and we can take a look at some of those dates from 1982 and see what pops to mind when you look at some of the ones.
Yeah, and Tony was in the band that year, and I know he posted that. So we went. Tony and Stephan were playing together that year on guitars, and
when Tony was first, and then and then I saw them play a house party, and I was like, I'm in the band, and I was not going to have a no for answer.
There you go. Be persistent.
He kind of insisted. Yeah.
Hey, some people checking in over here. If you want to say hi to Tony Stover and David Payne, have both checked in.
Hey!
There you go. And let's say hi. Let's say hi to Donovan Stark too.
And
he just
Donovan Stark.
See, I know we're covering some territory already. We're just getting started.
I believe Davey
and Glam 72. I'm sure we'll find out who that is.
That's my friend.
There you go. Well, it's good to have a friend. That's what I'm telling you.
Dina.
Hello, Dina.
My girlfriend.
There you go. And Anna Brinkmann. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the first one, by the way.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Just so you know, it's not a contest. But
now I'm going to really have to behave.
Well, we'll have to watch some of the stories then.
Shenanigans.
Oh, shenanigans.
Well, I do have to say, and I did, Anna writes, in my view, better songs than I ever did at that age. She's,
really?
And in fact, these two guys are playing on her most recent recording.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, she's got a hit
awesome.
On her hands.
And playing one instrument, or is she just vocalist?
She writes and sings, and she gets clever guys like these to
fill in whatever she needs.
And who's the drummer on the track?
Ralph Humphreys from Frank Zappa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, you got to watch out. You got to watch out for Anna Brinkmann. She's doing something.
Lovely voice. Holy crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She got two N's on the end of the name too.
Yeah. There's a.
What is that?
Well, it's an unnecessary. It's just superfluous consonants.
It's German.
Say no more. Yeah. Say no more. Prussian.
Yeah.
I only bring that up.
Prussian. Excuse me.
I owe you an N. That's why I said that. I think when I first put your name out there,
I get an F and he gets two N's.
Yes. But did you get an F? You're not a PH? Isn't it a PH? Are you
It
sure?
is a PH.
That's what I thought.
But it should have been an F, you said.
Oh, it should have been an F.
PhD.
And this is the trouble with California education and the parents of our. What's going on? Somebody out there?
Well,
did the llama just
we kept
walk by?
looking for the llama.
Well, he is around here, and
is that what is making that howling now?
No, that's our neighbors.
We should let the llama in.
We howl at 8 o'clock in this county for at least 10 minutes. They're out. They're done howling now. That they are, but you know what? I'm thinking. Let's maybe it is a quarter after, and I think that's kind of a time to maybe let's dive into one of your songs, a video. I've only got a few that I've got, but I've got one in my pocket right now, and it's the one that's been sticking in my head. You know which one it is?
A video.
Yeah.
Oh. That was a good song.
That is a good song, man. It's a great song. I've had it stuck in my head for a week, and now I'm going to unleash it on the world. When was the last time the song was played on air?
Well, it was on a EP in '85, and it went to clubhouses that year. That's '85. That's probably when it was.
Wow! Well, here we are back again. Good. It's a strong song. I'm telling you, man. All right, here comes at you right now. Defectors. Oh. All right, I got to ask, where'd that title come from?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did the song come first or the
It was
melody?
supposed to be ho ho ho, but it was
You just decided to shorten it.
flipped around.
Well, the fact is, we played so much that we really didn't have time to work on songs and rehearse. So we slapped things together at sound checks, and it was really like that. Somebody's got an idea. Why use the sound check to practice songs we already know? Let's learn a new one.
There you go.
So songs evolved, and I would have to say with that one, we just probably couldn't think of a title.
Well, it was fortunately it was there in the chorus. So.
Well, it's strong chorus.
It is a strong chorus. You know, it's one of those ones. It's less is more. You can remember it
for the name of the song.
I know it worked well for the police, things like that. Guys who were just break it down to that one little thing that gets to be like a little thing in your head you can't get rid of, which is what's been happening with me the last 2 or 3 days because of that song. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Earworm is what I meant to say. Yeah.
So we developed that song when Stephan was still in the band in '84. And in '85 we recorded it. So the guitar player in that cut's Chris Dierney, who's no longer with us. But you saw there was some shots in that collage where he was in there.
Yeah. And what year was that?
'85.
That was '85.
Now, how does that coincide with our stint at Graffiti? Was Willie in trouble by '85?
No. We were done by the record release party, the whole graffiti, locking of the doors, and the.
No, that record was recorded in the basement of Graffiti.
It was.
It was in '85. Yeah. After you were not in the band, we recorded the EP down there.
But he reopened before that, right?
I don't know. Anyway, what these guys are getting at is that the guy who was our executive director in '84 and who funded the project to record the LP in '84 somehow
was busted.
Ended up going to prison.
We thought he was a coke dealer. We weren't going to ask.
No, he was busted for embezzling.
Oh, I know, but we didn't know what he.
And embezzling's so not cool. At least a drug deal would have been something.
But it was to pay for our
legit.
To pay for our record.
Oh, he bought his boyfriend a really nice new Yamaha.
Now let's be careful.
Racer.
In case Willie's watching.
In case.
It was a good time.
It was wonderful.
There you go.
We were grateful for it.
Shenanigans. John, I wish I would have had that cue. Instead of shenanigans, I have to use. Oh man.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Man. Oh, man. All right. Because, I had it all cued. Shall I try it again?
Sure. Shenanigans.
Oh, now I'm surprised.
All right. Okay. All right. Not surprised? Well, my other option would be... Hey, where are we, by the way?
There's a couple of those as well.
Yeah, I'm sure we dig deep enough. Where are we anyway? Tiny House Live. Tiny House Live. Just in case you needed to remind yourself.
So, lineage.
Yes.
So anyway, continue. I mean, you want to tell the story of...
Which one?
Just you said there were 20 people in the band.
Oh, okay. I
start at the beginning and
I could try to run through that. So I think I mentioned the first group was with David Anderson, myself, Charlie Reed on guitar. Charlie Reed slept with like a skill saw next to his bed. He was kind of interesting guy. Charlie, if you're out there. Anyway, the first version of the band, our first gig as a trio was at the end of the beginning, and I played the bass on the Farfisa. And then I asked my old buddy Jerry Wimmer to join the band for a while, because Jerry and I had played in other bands. We came out from Milwaukee together. And Jerry played for a while, and then our drummer David knew a guy from high school back in Duluth, Mark Pistol. And we just said, yeah, come on out from Duluth and join the band.
Great name, why not?
Yeah, exactly. No audition. Mark, come on out, you're in the band.
Mark's gone on to great things.
And I think you're going to play. I saw in your thing. I think you're going to play our first recording, Cash Advance,
Yes.
which Mark plays bass on. And then Charlie left the group suddenly, and we stole a guitar player in Santa Rosa from another band, John Cascianti, who came in and took Charlie's place. And then probably early '82, I think John Cascianti and Mark Pistol both left the band. And then that's when Tony Stouffer and Chris came in, and then Stephan midway through.
1980.
83 we're in. 82 we're in.
82?
Yeah,
82.
You came in 82.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony stayed through 82, 83, I think, and then 82, 83 through 85 is mostly these guys. Oh God, it's probably boring. Then
No, that's really good though. This is good to get.
It seemed a lot longer than that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We packed a lot of life in those few years.
We really
The elastic nature of time.
Yeah, there we go. You know, I think in '84 we really thought something was happening, and I just have to say that we were a really good performing band, and we were doing great shows. We were playing 5 nights a week still, and we were really good in '84, but we just could not record, and we had the recording that came out in '84 was such a disappointment sound-wise, and you know, I think it led to these guys quitting the band by the end of the year. It just so we can come back to that.
Yeah.
'85. So these guys left the band.
If you're still here.
End of '84, Chris, and so the constant of the whole 7 years is David and me, and in '85, then Chris Diurney came in on guitar. An English fella, Graham Richards, came in on bass, and then I wanted to stop playing keys, and then my partner Bonnie Kirkpatrick came in to play keys, and I switched to rhythm guitar. Then Graham left the band, and then Delphine Neat came in on bass, and that might be just about everybody.
I'm surprised you got all that. That's amazing.
Delphine had been in the Nuns. Now Delphine, we had to, well, I should also say she's no longer with us, so I'll speak respectfully, but she had a little bit of trouble with time, and I would start calling her 2 days before anything, just as like, there's something happening on Wednesday, I'll be coming to your grandma's house to pick you up, and, you know, like that, and you know.
Wow.
And then call several times on the same day, like today is Wednesday.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, that's it. We're working with people, trying to keep everybody in line, keep the ducks in a row. You know,
It's a family affair.
it is a family. It's a little like herding cats, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Hey, a couple of people checked in over here, and Donovan Stark says the investor story is gold. He liked the investor story, so, and Donovan knows that he does.
Don't repeat that. Please.
No, but Tony's in the house. He says, "Hi guys, remember me?" Like we can forget Tony. You know, come on.
No,
come on.
It's your mother I want, Tony.
Yeah, awesome. That was an awesome song. Well, Tony, one of our
I love that song. That's one of the songs that really got me. I wanted to.
It's a brilliant song.
Now, which song? I missed this. Which song?
It's Your Mother I Want.
God, I don't know it. Why is that?
It's a great song.
Tony
can play it next week.
Yeah, please bring it.
I don't know if Tony has a recording of us doing it, but there should be some out there.
Huh.
I think Tony, maybe we re-recorded it when we lived together in Rohnert Park. Anyway, you can ask Tony about that. But we had a pretty wild tour in '82 that Tony, when he was in the band, we went to the Midwest, and
I know there's some stories there. There's stories
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Tony, go ahead.
Well,
what were you going to say?
Well,
what were you gonna,
we had a pretty incompetent booking agent, and the tour. All I'll say for anybody out there listening who's ever gone on a tour, when the tour started, or the dream of the tour started, we thought we might be doing shows from the Midwest all the way to the East Coast, to Boston and New York. But somehow, by the time we got to the Midwest, gigs were dropping off and not. They weren't firm and they weren't for real.
It's not a college town.
And so the guy was getting us last minute gigs here and there. Now, some are memorable, like, for example, when we opened up for Steppenwolf at some dive in northern Minnesota.
It's the Cove in Superior.
And we couldn't figure out, you know, we're on the stage and we couldn't figure out why on the walls we kept seeing these pictures of women with their tops off, and then we started, I think Stephan and I looked at each other and we started to realize while we were playing that these are the same biker women who were in the audience, and they were having the biker old lady contest. And after Steppenwolf, after they came into the club when we were done, you know, we were wearing makeup, and you know, these were all bikers. It was a little rough, but he rides his Harley into the club.
No.
And then
hell broke loose.
And then we realized, this is what they do. They all submit pictures for the biker old lady contest.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
There was two things I was told before I went on tour of the Midwest with these guys, and it was one of them was they called it White Castle vomit burgers, and the second thing was that you're going to hear bartender, I believe I have a Schlitz, right, or a blue ribbon, and I'm like, what? And so, and we walk into the Cove, and one of my favorite bands, my first record I think I ever owned was Steppenwolf 2.
Oh yeah, classic. Like, come on.
You know. And we're getting there. We pull into a White Castle, and as soon as we walk up, there's this guy vomiting all over the front. So that was the one thing they said that I knew I knew I could trust these guys after this. The second one was as I walked up,
just as we were walking to the door of the White Castle, the doors opened. You guys puking on the way out. Was that the place where you got the hot sauce? And
no, that was the Tabasco sauce at the Taco Bell.
Maybe we went there instead, but
hot sauce.
But Stephan gets a little excited, and
I do.
And there were, I guess, these little plastic packets.
They used to have the little square packets that were deep, and I hit one, and he had. It went right in his eyes.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Jeez, I thought that was in Sacramento.
That was Sacramento, but that was early on in my tenure, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. But anyway, so the second thing that I knew I could trust these guys was we go into the Cove, and there's these huge. I'd never seen anything like it. It was a huge 50-gallon drums, and they were like full of cans, and the guys were pulling up next to me, going, "I believe I have a Schlitz blue," and I was like, "Pabst Blue Ribbon." Anyway, I know that really went nowhere, but it was funny.
No, it's a segment of time. I almost felt like I was there.
And that was the night Steppenwolf. Anyway, Superior, Wisconsin. Sorry, I'm going to stop talking now.
That's Wisconsin.
It's Wisconsin.
Oh my God. Oh, you can't. I hope you wrote some of these stories down. Do you keep any logs? Did anybody keep any diaries or?
That would be Dave.
Dave, he is kind of the archiver, isn't
he? Yeah. It's his fault.
Yeah. Well, that's where I got most of the video was off of his page, his YouTube page.
Who were those guys that were playing with Mars Bonfire that night in L.A. studio?
He had some younger guys like playing with him, but it was.
I thought they were sort of disrespectful, frankly. I don't know.
You can remember the night.
I can't remember that. I just remember John Kay. That's all I cared about. Right. But anyway, I was going to say about Tony. I love Tony. Yeah. Tony got all the cutie girls that were just loved Tony.
Yeah, well, Tony had that haircut.
Oh my God! and for me, it was shenanigans.
It still holds true.
Shenanigans. But and he knew every song. Every song by the Beatles. He could go into a party. He was the guy with the guitar and could play any song.
I know that much I know about him. His well runs deep.
Mm-hmm.
Just and actually, you were just here a second ago. And David Payne just says, "I'm pretty sure I know background to It's Your Mother I Want." I'm not sure Tony wants me to share.
So, go ahead. You got that button ready?
I can't bleep anything out. I have no way to mask faces for the innocent. I have none of that in here.
Say, I just wanted to shout out Davey because
yes,
it's his fault.
Apparently a lot of this is his fault because his name
He's
comes
like
up
the
in every one
center
of these
the
shows.
universe, this guy. But yeah, no, he brought me to the Klaus Heidelberg. I'd been playing with Stoneground, and brought me. I was out of that band, anyway, time is weird.
Well, there it goes.
I ended up at the Klaus Heidelberg with him and Alex Guinness, and these guys walked in and saw me playing, and it was just horrifying because there was no drummer, and I was plugged into the clean channel on this amp with another guitar player, and it was just like kind of impromptu. And
Did it work?
I think that's when the first time they saw me, and then I ended up. Some weird stuff happened. Davey was along for the ride for a lot of the weird stuff that was happening.
That's funny.
And then I came back and joined the Tumblers with William Butler and Mike Kerrigan and Chris Kiefer and Brian. Anyway, and Dave. Anyway, so that's when I ended up joining these guys. Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a choice, as I recall.
No.
You insisted on joining.
Because they were playing a house concert at Susanna and Nick Beach's house, Suzanne and Nick Beach's house, and I saw them play, and I had the right combination of toxicity in my system, and I was just like, yes, I'm in this band now, Joe.
Oh, now I can remember that. I can remember seeing you at that party, and we played pretty fast, and that was probably
so good.
It was probably what. And the thing that was remarkable, because when you're in a band where the drummer and the bass player smoke pot, and they still and they can still play that fast, and it was hard for me.
And that precise.
And Stephan and I occasionally used other substances, and we still couldn't keep up with the potheads in the band. So,
well, there's two different kinds of potheads. I know from personal experience. Those of us who get energized, and those who want to sit on a couch and watch a movie. I'm the energized brand.
Yeah.
By the way, evidently we have to be careful what we say over here because Donna Baker says, "What you guys are saying? Watch what you're saying, babe. Old girlfriends are here." All right. I just thought I'd bring a little.
They are legion.
Hi, Donna.
DJ, hi DJ.
Oh, and Nikki Miller too. Nikki Miller just checked in as well. So, friends coming and going. It's a nice thing, ain't it? To sit here in an evening.
This is wonderful.
It is nice. Did I fill you up? Did you get you like the chili? Had the
chili was excellent.
Oh, the chili was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lovely setting. It couldn't beat it.
Well, Pepperland.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a gorgeous place. It's just high up here in the hills. The altitude is not bothering you.
There's no
the attitude.
The attitude.
My nose is running a little bit.
Well, I keep oxygen in the bag just in case.
Okay.
Just like Aspen and Vail and Telluride. You never know.
Pepperland.
Yeah.
Pepperland.
Well, hopefully we'll get you introduce you to Louis the llama before you walk out. We'll see. There is a llama here. Yes, there is.
I don't believe you.
No, I'll prove it. Oh, he just got sheared, so he looks more like a goat at this point.
I swear, he said what was laying down over there.
That was a steer.
Oh.
He had horns.
Oh. That's what she said.
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Okay, move on.
All right, no, maybe we should because we're close to the bottom of the hour, and I can play another song. Would you want? Maybe I should play the Cash Advance.
Okay,
Yeah, Cash
why not?
Advance.
Yeah,
Let's do Cash Advance. All right, and then we get a chance.
This is with Mark Pistol on bass. It's recorded in 1981, I think.
Always love this tune.
Well, here we go then. Coming right at you.
Hi, Mark.
I can make the bills.
we went out in space for a second on the way back from that one. Cash advance.
That's how those guys were playing when I mean, it's like
just that tempo. It was like
Tony on the guitar, and it was just insane, and it was pop, and it was everything good. It was
a lot of energy.
It was
man.
just so I was just fell in love.
You know, as an audio engineer, the only kind of music I could ever think about dancing to, because you don't see many audio engineers dancing. Maybe Krieg.
Yeah.
All right. I had to throw Krieg. I had to throw Krieg's name in there tonight.
Hey, Krieg.
Dear friend of mine as well. Maybe he'll see this at some point. I might can't
He
hear
had
with
his
Krieg.
own dance, I think. Didn't
You know, he did, and he'd be back behind the monitor board, just doing it.
Doing the robot.
Doing the robot.
But he had this thing that he did. Am I imagining completely where he would like dance with his boots?
Oh,
and
yeah.
his, like, boots.
Yeah.
He'd like
Krieg, Wunderlich.
Krieg Wunderlich.
Wunderlich.
So does he use the internet? Would he even be?
I don't know.
He's not much of an internet guy. I do know where he lives, so I could drop this on a disc and put it in his mailbox or something.
Right.
We're having dinner with Krieg and Galena next Saturday.
Oh, awesome.
Are you?
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, bring. You have an iPad or a Bring that and just throw this in his face and make him laugh. Hello, Krieg. Let's all say hi to Krieg right now.
Hi, Krieg.
Hi, Krieg. Hi, Krieg.
Hi, Galena.
There you go.
Well, Krieg is one of the reasons why when we played, oftentimes people would say we were the best smelling band.
Was that because of Krieg? Well, I've never noticed that. I've worked intimately with Krieg.
No.
Never took one notice or another.
Well, it's because he liked to do the fog show, and because some of us worked at an herbal tea company, we would throw peppermint leaves in it. So we'd come out on the stage, and the fog would be coming up, and it was green, and it smelled wonderful.
And then the flames.
Well, we did get in trouble at some show. Oh, well, Krieg, he liked to blow stuff up.
You can say shit. That's true. You can say shit here, I think.
Krieg liked to blow shit up, and he didn't always tell us about it, what was coming. You know, eventually, we said, like, you got to let us know where this stuff is, because, you know.
He sort of got off on overdoing it a lot of the time, too.
So we talking about legitimate pyrotechnics here? He just wanted to blow things up.
Flash pots.
Yeah, well, we
were doing
M80s, things like.
Well, we got in trouble. We did this. Do you guys remember playing this?
Wait.
We did a 415 show with all the 415 bands, like at the Waldorf or something, in '80. Not the Waldorf. I forget what it was called. Some club in the city.
The Kabuki.
Maybe it was the Kabuki. There was like 20 bands.
We played with Perfect Strangers and Fade to Black or something.
Well,
Kabuki, I think.
Anyway, Krieg had some special pyrotechnics that night, and got in trouble because it was a union house, and he'll remember.
Sold out and holds like 2,000 people.
I don't know, but Krieg got in trouble. We didn't.
Yeah. But that was the case all the time.
Yeah, come
It's
on.
like the management got in trouble and road crew got in trouble.
Well, that's why we got in this business, isn't it? I mean,
and I never got in trouble that I know of.
no, you never got caught. That's what it means.
Well, the thing is, there were some occasions, Stephan, where I got a phone call where I had to,
make nice,
smooth things over.
I'm sure.
I'm sure Stephan didn't really do that.
No,
it's from some of your shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, that figures. That figures.
And there were a lot of people who were trying to look like Stephan in those days, too.
Oh, really? There were Stephan lookalikes?
Yeah, Stephan lookalikes, as I recall.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Clones of Dr. Stephan. Actually, that did happen one time.
Yeah?
Was it us? Didn't we record at Fantasy one time?
What a great place.
We mastered something there.
I walked it.
You didn't work with Tom Size. Tom Size, did you?
When we recorded with Paul Stubblebine in Sausalito, didn't we master over Fantasy?
Yes. So I meant the record plant, and I walked out, and Andy Preboy from Eye Protection was there, and we were both wearing cowboy boots and concho belts, and our hair was huge, and it was fun. It was like looking in a mirror, and so I guess I did have a clone. It was weird. I know. I don't know. I got stories.
Oh man, the record plant. That's beautiful history. Like fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
I've been watching kind of what's going on with the record plant, wondering where it's going to go and what's going to happen with it. It seems to be going. I mean, I even tried to interject my idea what I would do with it. I bring my cameras down there and create a live reality show out of there, and bring bands back in who had recorded there and film them.
Sort of like Tamalpais Research or something like that.
Or any reality show. You just got your characters. You got the quirky engineer. You got the band. You got the owner. You got crazy bands that come and go. They're easy to find. There'd be a golden idea.
A couple places in the city are doing that now.
Yeah, they should
live, especially during the lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm obviously doing what I can do in here, but in a tiny house, I can only do so much.
Love the tiny house.
I gotta love the tiny house. Where are we? Where am I? I don't know where I am. I'm hitting my little machine that's not working. I don't know. It's just like I'm. This happens to me in here. I start having more fun. I start having more fun. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, the Defectors right here. There they are. Ain't they cute? Get that last laugh.
Yeah, that was...
If you notice, I got some little children in there cheering too, because got the A and the guy at the very end. I don't know. I collect these things. Sometimes things get a little strange around here, and yeah, well, you know.
It wouldn't be right otherwise.
So, Joe, where were we?
Where are we, Joe? Bring us.
I joined the band.
You joined the band,
and then we went to the Midwest.
Right.
And Tony and played in house parties and stuff with his acoustic guitar. And then what else? What happened? We played with.
Well, do you recall this party that we played at outdoors in Sebastopol, where they handed out brownies?
Yes, I do.
And
at a pool. It was a divorce party.
Was it that party? By the time we were ready to play, and we were trying so hard to tune our instruments, but we started to notice that everyone out in this pasture, this field, they were moving closer to the ground, and they were all lying down, and we were trying to stand up and play. Did we actually play?
I think we played. I think
was that us?
The brownies were good.
Wasn't that the pool divorce party?
I don't know.
Because the brownies happened there too. And Davey Baines knows too well about brownies.
I should probably check over here and see what he's saying, because he's been Paul Stubblebine. Stubblebine. Boy, you guys, your names.
Masterer.
Yeah, he said there's a local legend as well.
Yeah. Paul Stubblebine was. Everybody used him to master their records.
Well, I mentioned Tom Size. I worked a lot with Tom Size with Dave Manchetti and Y&T. And boy, Tom, he was just a master. I'm not only audio engineer live, but just a mastery engineer as well.
Now Y&T, there was one gig that we played in Petaluma with a bunch of metal bands, and
was it at the Mystic Theater?
Well, I don't think it was called that in the
Phoenix.
No, it was the Phoenix. Right?
Okay, that makes more sense.
We were opening for Night Range.
Yeah, I remember when that show hit the...
Yeah, and people were throwing things at us, I recall. I was dodging beer cans, I think.
That's on a good night.
Remember when we used to play the Air Force bases?
So we
Here's a Spinal Tap moment.
Right, so
Vallejo.
Well, this guy said, you guys ought to play the military bases.
That was the Maritime Academy. Yeah.
Right.
No, but we also played, we did a couple of these. But one of them, we needed to get security to escort us.
That was the one that was at the Mare Island, wasn't it?
But it was your fault, Stephan, because you Stephan was wearing so much makeup and funny pants that a lot of the military.
Like I have on today, or maybe not.
A lot of the military guys were just like, what's up with this guy?
I went through a new romantic phase.
A new romantic phase?
Yes, I mean I really loved bands like Ultravox in Japan, and they all wore a lot of makeup, and it was very European sounding. I mean, very romantic, and I really wanted to go in that direction, and I didn't have the pocketbook or to get the clothes, but so I did the best I could, and that's
you're doing a great job. Actually, I wanted to show the fact that you and Joseph there are coordinated. Can you show us your chucks right there? I got a camera down there in the chucks.
We did not talk before this. this.
Well, no, we didn't, but that's, it's all good, man. I would have worn mine. I just haven't had them.
What kind of briefs are you wearing?
Fruit Looms, but boxer briefs, I think. Black.
But when you put those shoes on, do you put on like a sock and then a shoe and a shoe, or do you put like a sock and a shoe? And
No, I put my socks on and then my shoes. What do you do?
I do socks first.
Yeah, socks.
Yeah, socks first, and then Chris, what's your system?
It's a sensible thing to do.
It is a sensible thing to do.
Left first or right?
That doesn't mean people do that, though.
Do you use powder? I don't use powder. Use powder?
I should use powder.
I should
That's what people tell me.
use powder.
I use heel balm.
Huh?
Heel balm.
Heel balm.
Oh, okay.
We might need to see your heels now.
Bag bomb on my...
Jeez, that's I'm finding feet are a great interest. Feet are something of interest that people want to know more about.
Feet
I don't
are
know why.
important,
Feet are important. You wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for your feet.
Feet and teeth.
Do you think
Feet and teeth.
is,
Great name for a band, by the way. Tooth and nail. Feet and teeth.
I remember Tooth.
That's what made me think of.
Great band.
Yeah. And you know who's just come back into my world through the fantasies of Facebook is I just said his name. I forgot it. Darn it. Page One, lead singer from Page One. Darn it.
I don't know.
I know. The local band that did really well. I just wonder if that was going to trip a note. So many bands came across my helm engineering. 3 bands a night at Redwood Cafe and at of course Magnolia's, where actually I worked a few shows with Josef Brinkmann and the Conspiracy of Equals.
I have to tell you, interject, but in regard to Magnolia's, Scott Bunting and Greg Hunter formed a building business after they gave up Magnolia's, and we worked for them.
Oh, really?
Pretty frequently, yeah.
And Scott Goree and his partner took it from there. Is that what happened?
Is that what happened?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Because Scott had the longest run with it. Railroad Square, Santa Rosa.
Scott Bunting or
no? Scott Goree.
Scott Goree. Okay.
Right. Who I had on my show just about two Wednesdays ago, and we just went through history like this. Just tons of as an engineer and him as a club owner. We just between the end of the beginning and Magnolias that he ran, we just had a ton of history.
Well, the way you started this program tonight about what was happening in the 70s and 80s in this county, it was pretty special.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if it's still like that today. I'm too old, but there
certainly aren't as many venues.
No.
It was just awesome. It felt awesome to play at the Katati Cabaret.
It
was sold that place out.
It was always an
Absolutely.
experience.
That was the place.
And the River Theater was always
Cherry Night. Thank
awesome.
you.
And even some of the small clubs where we had a regular every Sunday night for a while, at this little club in Santa Rosa.
Which one?
No, we used to play every Thursday night at the
Refectory.
Now, when we first started doing that, it was a steakhouse, right? And we started. I was like, "What a steakhouse!" That turned into like one of the wildest places we ever played on.
I remember
every week.
I mixed bands there. It was one of the club places that I got to.
It was, and the Katati Cabaret. It's a temple now, but we got to play it again.
Oddly enough, in my daughter's bat mitzvah.
Right. Yeah, we got on that stage again, even though it's a
We
temple.
played klezmer music. It was great.
There wasn't much of a stage last time I was in that room. I looked around.
It's kind of
No, it's been homogenized.
It has been homogenized into a. Yeah. Here, I want to throw something up on the screen.
Can I just throw up? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, go ahead. I'm setting something up. Go ahead.
Please don't vomit.
Don't throw. I just wanted to,
We've heard that story.
To throw out Kathy Brophy and Nathan Urizari and who else was he? Creek Wunderlich and
Joel
Voris.
much love
to these people.
Yes.
Without them, we would have never been able to do what we did.
Especially Kathy Brophy.
Kathy and her artistic. She had that. If you saw the poster, I mean, she has a style that it was like.
Well, we were associated. It's a good thing to be associated with art students because they kind of created our image for a while.
The whole 9 yards. I mean, it's like the album cover, the posters. It's just if you saw her work, you knew it was us.
Well, it's great to have that connection. Now, is she the one who did like I want to say just the black and white image?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of signifies you guys, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Hey, I got this up on the screen. Let's take a quick little look at this and tell me what you think. There's
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I saw this the other day.
Yeah, this is 1982. I realize for those of us who are watching on a telephone, I'm sorry, get rid of your phones. But for those who are on screens,
where is the disc? The last.
Boy, there were some.
It's right there, the beginning of July. I think I started right before that.
Well, I guess it just shows how crazy we were. Our touring,
played a lot of places. Yeah.
Our schedule probably, well, really from the beginning, we just were maniacs. We basically played as many shows. We'd play anywhere anyone would let us play.
Back in the day, it's like it was so amazing because in San Francisco you could play at the Mabuhay, you could play across the street, Chi-Chi, you go to the Stone, and then you're on Broadway all in 1 month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the same week we could play
to a different crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we would play like a graffiti out on Valencia, and then we would play the Mabuhay, and then it was like there was no competition. These days, oh, you're playing this place, you can't play my place for a month.
The booking envelopes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that happens between the booking agents and structures that we have no control over.
So back then, everybody was just like, sure, we'll put you on there. We'll put you on the place where and when can you come back? Because this band was on fire.
Yeah.
And
Brown.
Maybe.
What was that?
Murphy's in Sacramento.
Okay, well, since you brought up Murphy's, I don't know. But since you brought up Sacramento, remember Pancake Parade? Do you remember the New Year's that we played at? We ended up playing for, it wasn't a biker gang, it was a boating gang. And these guys were...
boating gang?
These guys all had a shop.
They made boat trailers.
I thought they worked on the Hemi engines. They were like rear, the big sport.
So this was an example. We would take sketchy gigs, and we played this big warehouse party for these boat dudes up in Sacramento, and it was a scene like the other gang showed up, and this old...
It was the other boat gang.
Yeah.
Well, they built a stage. First, they had done a really great job of setting it up for us. They were going to New Year's. It was a big warehouse where they had their, they had the bait and tackle with them, the engines and everything everywhere, and they had built a stage, big wooden stage. And
so the other gang shows up and an all-out war breaks out while we're playing. People are picking up chairs and smashing them over each other's heads.
I fell asleep in the green room, which was the back behind the stage, the green room, the tool shed or whatever.
Yeah, they're rarely ever green.
Woke up and came out, and they had set the stage on fire in the middle of the room, and we're dancing around it.
Seriously?
Dancing around it, and this is about 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're yelling, they're singing, they're going.
Well, that's after we were done.
Yeah,
a riot was breaking out while we were playing, and meanwhile, my probably 5 or 6 year old daughter is sleeping in the dressing room,
Oh, really?
and I see people just beating the hell out of each other right outside the door. We're on stage, and this. So we would play things like this occasionally. Some of the gigs we played some gigs in Nevada that are memorable.
Silver City, Nevada.
Now, Silver City, it seemed to me at the time. I don't know why these bikers and there were a lot
expats.
Lots of end of the world folks and survivalists out there. People who you can't find.
Yeah, don't want to be found.
Well, even if the FBI's looking for them.
It's actually a colony of benign speed freaks.
Yes, with parrots.
But they liked us, and we would play there, and it was out of control.
And the bars never shut down.
And the hotel was haunted as...
Really?
Yeah.
Did you experience this haunting?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Can you tell me just briefly what you experienced without going off? Because I have a small collection of these kind of stories that happen around me in here.
Oh, I have in here?
Well, people tend to bring these stories to me in here, and I can tell you a few that I've been relating recently.
I got better ones.
Okay.
Yeah, places. I can't tell you a whole lot about that place because it just seemed that Mezcal went along with the gigs there, and that's a special trip.
It does,
Somewhere there's a picture of us all lying on the roof of the...
I think I might have that on my phone.
The Golden Gate Saloon at like 10 a.m. in the morning in the merciless sun in the high desert of Nevada.
Lying on the roof.
Well, that was the night after that was the day after the night before.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I spent hours that night at the bar talking to a guy, sharing a bottle of mezcal, and I think I started to get nervous maybe close to sunrise when he started to really open up and tell me about why he was hiding.
Well, that's a great.
Suddenly I'm getting images of Easy Rider.
That's a great picture of you.
So that's
Rock against Reagan.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that we played.
Hold up right here. We'll zoom in. We're gonna get a close up on this.
That I would say that was one of our.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
That's all right. I got you.
Hold on. I don't want to get anybody's in trouble here.
That picture was taken.
Be careful now.
That picture was taken by Tom Chown.
Oh yeah.
We played.
You can't see in Joseph's glasses there.
Remarkably, in 1984, if anyone recalls, that's pretty blurry.
Yeah.
The Democratic National Convention was in San Francisco at the Moscone Center, and somehow the San Francisco board, they allowed a stage to be built and a concert to happen outside the Democratic National Convention.
Really?
It was the Dead Kennedys, Millions of Dead Cops, the Defectors, and a few other bands, and a total riot broke out. There was FBI and sharpshooters up on tops of all the buildings that we could see while we were playing. Thousands of people, and the San Francisco police attacked on horseback with clubs, and all chaos broke out. Thousands of people were arrested that day. But boy, that was a great gig.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Because it makes a great story this far down the line. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we were there.
They couldn't tell just by the names of all the bands it was going to be an issue.
Of heat stroke, but boy was
The Democratic Convention. Yes, let's get the Dead Kennedys in there. There's a great idea.
Yeah, whoever issued that permit.
Boy, that's balls, that's for sure. Oh God!
But that was around the same time 84. That was June. So shortly after that, then we went to play in Hawaii.
Yes.
Which was also a highlight. So that was pretty cool because it was the first time we got to put all our gear on a plane.
And they picked us up, and they had our album cover painted on the wall on the front of the building.
Man.
Picked us up in stretch limousines.
Well, they were, surprisingly, it was difficult to get California bands to go over to play, and I thought, well,
maybe that's why. They were.
I'll come anytime you want.
They had like two bands in town. I know one of them was called Hat Makes the Man.
Hat Makes the Man.
Hat Makes the Man.
Hat Makes the Man. I like the name of that. I don't know why. It phonetically, it just makes sense to me.
But since we're on 1984, I think you got the video to Vacation on your roster. And the guy...
Oh, I do, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who filmed that his name was Uncle Vinty.
Ooh. Now I used some of his work to make our little PR trailer. That was the one I used for the PR trailer. I actually multi-imaged a couple things to make it
that was
spin
nice.
and get dizzy.
Thank you.
Sure.
You got my clothes right.
I got your clothes right. Had you swinging around the... You look really... Well, let's play that.
Okay.
And then... Actually, matter of fact, maybe I want to do a double back.
They actually played that on Basement Tapes on MTV.
Did you really? They did? On Basement? Great.
Do you know what the Basement Tapes?
Once.
Well, they did. One time.
I guess I missed it.
Well, let's do it. Let's do this now, and then I'm going to come back, and I do want to play one of the videos from the Electric Toys too with Tony, because we're coming up next Wednesday, and I promise I'll do that. So we'll do that when we come back too. But right now, let's take a vacation.
All right.
What year?
Yeah. I don't know.
84.
Is that it?
84.
Great work.
you watch. Watch the weather. Get yourself together. I'm riding my vacation around the folly of the nation.
There was a lot of stuff at the end of that video that I kind of had to it kind of went non sequitur at the end. I kind of went, I don't know if I could continue on with that. I trimmed it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much you got paid.
The whole idea was if an explosion, nuclear winter sets in, and then it spins around sun and everything comes back and everything's left. But
wow,
I got it.
I never realized that.
That's the way he heard the story. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is so much fun having you guys in my little world. No, seriously, we get to eat some good food, we hang out.
It's really great to be here with these guys.
And we had some history that I didn't even connect, Chris, until you got here and you went, hey, I play in Andre's band, I play in the Thugs. And I'm going, well, of course you do. I mean, so maybe we'll see you guys back at the Redwood Cafe in soon enough.
I certainly don't at the moment.
Neither do I. You think I would know something, but I don't know anything either. So we're all hopeful for that. That's when I officially go back to work. Well, when I stop doing this playing around.
I miss the Redwood. I miss seeing you there, and hopefully,
I'm having a lot of fun.
Later, yeah.
It'll be soon. I'm gonna. That's why one of the reasons I'm gonna wrap my series 5 up here. By the way, my seasons each year, I somewhere between 12 and 15 that I do in a season. I call it. I'm like television. It's like it's really the model. But this year, because of COVID, I've actually massed in my season 5. It'll be 20 by the time I'm done here, and then that's not counting all the rebroadcast I did, 3 a week when we started COVID for the Redwood Cafe stuff, because I was just slamming rebroadcast from the Redwood Cafe 3 nights a week for 6 months. So 6 months I was doing 3 nights a week live from the Redwood Cafe and my one tiny house, and then I fell over, and I just said tiny house for a while, and here I am. So time to lay back even more, rest up for what I'm hoping will be August. That's kind of what I'm envisioning for live stuff. I'm not officially saying anything, but I know that's kind of possible. It's possible.
Well, tiny house is cool.
Yeah, many thanks from us. This has been more fun than a barrel.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor. It's a lot of fun just to kind of backtrack our history. I know there's a lot of people out here who enjoyed it. David Payne said, love you guys. We've been friends for decades.
Yes.
And that's what's the beauty of this. David, it's inevitable, David. At some point you're going to have to sit in here too, and I guess maybe I'll bring in that other guy. What's his name? Tony Stouffer? we'll figure all that out.
If you can get that guy, I don't know.
That's what I've heard. I've heard he's pretty elusive. I think we've already got him. He's a big hit over here. We have, and that's a good thing. It's good to have you. Good to have you here. And cheers, boys. That's what Tony's Stouffer saying. Cheers, boys. Great show. Yeah, Tony, this is what we do, isn't it? And Tony will be in here next week with Mark. Oh, God, his last name always throws me. Tony, you're going to kill me for this. I want to say Chloe. Correct me, Tony. Goodness. But either way, yeah, we got another great show. We're going to go through a ton of Tony's history as well. Again, we've done a few of these things together, but we keep kind of compiling on everybody around us, whether it's been Eric stuff or So this next Wednesday, we're going to concentrate on Tony Stouffer's material, and good on you for that.
That should be a long.
It should be long.
He's got a lot of material.
He gave me a list of it the other day, and it was on a Facebook message. It was like this. I was like, my God, really? What am I going to do with all this? This was easy. I kind of pieced a couple things together, but Tony's got so much material. Let's see. Hello, Misty Morano. She's here.
Hi, Misty.
There you go. Misty coming in over there. And Gary Chateau, of course. I know. Gary knows Mark's Chloe. I want to say Chloe, but I thought it was Chloe. God, we're going to have to work this out. Clearly have a problem with names here, Stephan.
With an F.
With an F.
From
Stephan.
now on.
You are now.
I have license. I can do whatever I
and you're going to a PH. Is that okay?
Joe.
I guess I could check my pH.
Check your pH.
Wait, we have strips. We're of a certain age.
Or we're going to lose an N, whichever. We're not sure yet. All right, I got to do one more thing here before we finish off, because I do want to play what's coming up next week with Tony Stouffer and Mark Chloe right here on Tiny House Live. That's going to be a lot of fun. Here you go. Let's do a quick song from the Electric Toys. How can you not? How can we not?
To Mother.
I know I've never seen you before, but some
Accordion was cool.
Who modulated?
Huh? There was some kind of a strange warping modulation at the end of that song.
That doesn't surprise me in Tiny
That was
House.
so nice.
How strange. Tony Stouffer. Tony, besides you, Mick Whittington, and of course Phil Holden, bless his heart.
And David Payne.
David Payne. Okay. Who were you were asking about the guitar player.
Somebody's just to the right of Tony there, and the bass player. I think it's the same guy that played. I mean, he looks really familiar. I mean, looks like
We saw a photo during the lineup, Tony. We were trying to place which guitar player was that. I was trying to
bass player.
I'm sorry, it was bass player. Yeah.
I think.
You threw us off. Anyway. Where am I here? Oh, there we go. All right. Just double checking my reality. All right. Well, you guys, I think we've done what we've come here to do.
Well,
I think we've cleared up some misconceptions. No, we haven't. We think you're a great band to begin with. There was nothing to clear up.
Yeah, well, we made some noise.
You did make some noise. I remember it. I had a lot of fun. That was some great energy stuff. I was going to say before, as a sound engineer, the only kind of music I could ever dance to would have been the stuff you guys are playing to, because only jumping up and down and pogoing and stuff like that was the only thing that I could ever relate to as a sound engineer. That's where I went off on the Krieg conversation, because he can dance so well. But me as a sound engineer, I just could never do it. I'd be, what are you thinking?
Speaking of pogo. We played the night before we went for our first Midwest tour. We played at Zerbino's. Remember that? And the floor, we had...
Well, I think the capacity was like 79, but I think it was about 279.
Yes, there were. No, closer to 300, I think. And everybody was doing this, and the floor dropped.
Serious?
The stage moved forward.
Oh, no.
And they held on to the keyboard to Josef Brinkmann, and we finished the set like that. It seemed like the stage was like at an angle, and I asked Tony about that. It was wild, and I knew I was in the right place. I knew I was in the right band.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, more than a pleasure.
And I did hold out for the chili. I had lunch and then I waited.
Good, I'm glad.
And it was hot. It really.
I'm really working up to think I'm going to do a cookbook for season 5. A season 5 cookbook. I think so. I want to sell a product, a T-shirt, a cookbook, a cookbook T-shirt. Both. A cookbook that's a cookbook on a T-shirt.
Or forget it.
No, you see the way my mind works. It's all right.
Yeah, no,
the jacket.
It's not too late.
It's
not too late to sell out.
No, it's not. It's never been. Never been. All right, my friends. God, what a pleasure. What a pleasure. There's one thing you guys have never done. Sell out. That's what I'm telling you. No way.
Yeah,
that's why we made it.
Well, you made it to Tiny House. Come on.
We did.
I know
this is the high point.
I know
it
might be.
This is the best thing we've done in a long time.
See? That's a soundbite. That's going to be a soundbite right there for my flap.
We've done in a long time.
Is there anything else that you could wait? I heard you guys are still playing. You're gonna work on something. Are you still getting together, making some noise? Irritating some neighbors.
I love these guys. These is my family. These guys, even though we parted ways in '84 or whatever, the closest thing I have to a family with these
awesome,
two.
man.
And seriously, I owe my life to these guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
We're gonna get together. And no, I feel that way.
We'll see what happens.
And we're just going to play some noise, make some...
3-piece?
We're going to Zoom Dave in on a computer.
Yeah, that's what you're going to need to do, because I was wondering how you're going to get drums in.
His face, I've got lots of plug-ins, and we'll just use him. Ask him what he would do if he was here.
Will that work from Duluth?
Well, yeah. Of course. It's Duluth.
What about Duluth?
It's not Chinatown, it's Duluth.
Well, that's funny. Oh, you reminded me, too, to say hello to Peaky Chappelle.
Peaky Chappelle?
Peaky Chappelle? familiar name to you?
Pinky Chablis. I remember Pinky Chablis,
No,
but
this
not
is,
Pinky
so
Chablis.
Pinky played with Tony in a band called Euphoria.
No, I
and Pinky's up in Montreal, Canada, and he's been watching us from time to time. So I want to make sure I said hello to him because he likes to check in, and he's one of the rock and rollers. He is.
Montreal. Okay.
Yeah. And Ron Dady, I said I'd say hello to him out there as well tonight. So people. And did I say hello to David Petrie yet? $27 Snap-on face.
Hey, David, $27 Snap-on face.
Yeah. One of the best names, really, seriously. I mean, and I've recently done a video project for David, and interesting enough, this might interest you as well, and then we're going to kind of wrap this all up. But we're trying to figure out what to do with our recorded histories. I have hundreds and hundreds of recordings from the Mystic Theater, from years of recording, and all around the place. And a number of us in the county do, who are either tapers or in that realm. And we're trying to figure out a way to get them entered into maybe the Sonoma County History Museum. There needs to be something happening with the music that we've archived as a community for the last decades and decades.
Open a Sonoma County Music
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's a very good idea. And out of these, I reach to one of these, and I've got
royalties.
About six. No, I have no royalties or permissions, and that's the issue. But there are so many one-offs of recordings of shows that are just valuable for the document's sake of there, and they are what they are. And
yeah, it's worth doing.
It really is.
I was involved with a music collective in the city for 10 years called Commotion Collective.
Oh.
And there were tapes of the whole 10 years.
Sure.
And so those were donated to some historical society in San Francisco to archive it and.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
That's a good idea.
Well, that's what has to happen. It needs to be all digitized. It needs to be database. It needs to be accessible. And if you could walk into, say, a public library, which is another option that we're investigating, it'd be just a really valuable resource to walk in and go, do you have any defectors? And you go, right here. Pull it up and go, wow, cool.
200 years from now.
200 years from now. Yeah. Well, put it in a capsule. Send it to Mars.
It will be on it will be on ether.
It'll be
in the ether. You just think about it, and it'll happen.
Send it to Elon Musk. He'll know what to do.
We uploaded it to the ether, so.
All right. Well, listen, you guys. We are going to say goodnight. We're going to wave to everybody. Give a big wave. Tell everybody.
Are we waving?
We are waving, and then we're going to get a little visual here of my wisteria on the way out. Thank you so much, my friends. Sonoma County, we love you so much for joining us in on this thing we love to do with Sonoma County history. Ladies and gentlemen, Defectors right here with me. Had a great time and love you much, Sonoma County. We'll be
so fun. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Great having you guys here. We'll do stuff like this again. We can always do stuff like this again. Good night to you. Sleep well.
Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Tiny House Live. Tiny House Live. Tiny House Live.